Alright folks, got us a 2014 Hemi Dodge Ram. It's a 2500. It's got the big 5.7. Customer states engine light is on and the fuel gauge quit working. I verified all of that is true. Threw the scan tool on it, and it looks like we have a ton of codes in here. It looks like the radio, restraints, HVAC, about the only things that don't have codes. We're just concerned with the engine codes. And we have a 463 fuel level sensor high, so that tells me that it's probably open circuited. He said he already threw a fuel pump at it, but it didn't stick, I guess. And then okay, instrument cluster implausible. Fuel level received. I'd be curious, well, let's see here, which module is the instrument cluster IPC? I'm wondering if they're, if we could just sweep the gauge just for grins and giggles. Let's just see here if we can do that. Let's see, those are all telltales. Instrument panel self-test, let's go see. I don't think it's going to be a real issue, but I guess as long as if we can see the fuel gauge move, that would be kind of neat. But I don't think it's going to be an issue, like I say, being that we have a high circuit code. So there's that. Let me go to self-test here. Let's see, takes 30 seconds. Hit okay. Oh, there we go. Just missed it. So it's going through, turning on all the telltales and then sweeping all the gauges. Yeah, there we go. All right, well that's good enough for me. We know that the fuel gauge isn't stock, anything weird, which with that high circuit code it wouldn't be anyways. So taking back out of that, and then we will go right back into, or we'll go into the engine controller here. And then at this point, I guess we'll just have to look up a wiring diagram for it and see. Like I say, he already threw a fuel pump at it, which I assume had the level sensor on it. That'd be kind of funny if it wasn't there, right? Most aftermarket ones do. OEMs, though, however, oftentimes do not come with a fuel level sensor. Let's just see here. We have any data PID. Fuel level percent, 16% it says. The thing is though, we have no idea how much fuel is actually in it. And I assume, this is a big assumption, that there's more than 16% hopefully. At any rate, let's see if we can do a bypass test on it somehow and see what we can figure out here, folks. All right, folks, I got us some knowledge here. I got us a wiring diagram and the connector and a little bit of info I learned in service data. Pretty simple setup, pretty standard fuel level sensor. So it's a potentiometer, signal wire, ground wire going into the fuel level sensor, coming from the body control module. Puts out a voltage, on this wire here, and then the signal returner, the ground wire there. A couple things to note though, I did read in service data on the actual signal wire itself, open circuited is 12 volts, full is 1 volt, empty is 10.5. However, the scan tool will interpret it as 0.6 volts for full and 4.5 volts for empty. So we can see right here it's at 4.98. So if you didn't know that, and you only grabbed a wiring diagram and went here and said, whoa, this thing's got 12 volts on it, you're seeing 4.9 or 5 volts on your scan tool, you might think something is up. So sometimes reading through service data, you'll get these little handy bits of info. What's this connector here, you ask? It is the only connector that's in line, because I figure if we have to break the system down, that's the easiest way to do it. And they don't have a connector number, but they call it the inline body chassis. And that's what it's referred to as the inline body chassis connector. And the location of it is supposedly by the left front wheel. So in the PRNY, snowplow truck, dirt road driver, good place to start probably. All things considering, the guy said he, like say, shotgunned his own fuel pump at it. I think I've seen these connectors before on these trucks where they get rotted out, lots of wires in there. What do they have? Yeah, lock, unlock, fuel pump control, license plate lights, trailer lights, cameras, all kinds of crap there. So I say we probably start there. I don't even know if we have to put it on the lift. Grab ourselves a flashlight here and we can see if we can see that. I think it lives behind the plastic. Yeah, I think it lives behind this plastic. So yeah, I guess with that being said, let's throw it up in the air. It's got to go up in the air anyways because he's running some banana peels. He wants some other tires put on it. Put the truck up in the air, obviously. Use the mirror, trying to figure out the best method. We're going to go right at the fuel sending unit, which is where we technically should start. It's kind of a pisser to get to. I did look up on top of the tank and try to follow the wiring the best I could with the mirror. And there's a spot where it runs under a cross member where it looks like the whole harness is pinched in there, but it's in like a plastic track that looks like the factory. It doesn't appear anything's out of line the best I could tell. I can follow that wire back. I do see that connector behind the front wheel here. And I think that because I got to take the tires off the vehicle anyways, I think I'll peel the tires off. We'll get to that connector and we'll see if we can just do our tests there real quick. Because like I say, we're looking for an open circuit. We're not looking for a short. We'll find, I think it said pin 6. We'll check to see what we have at the connector on both sides. If we're good there, then we'll continue to go back and simply gonna do it this way because A, that connector is way easier to get to than the top of the tank. And B, I've got to take the tires off anyways. Oh, this thing's barely tight. Yeah, they're just a little bit over finger tight. Huh. Yeah, whatever. I'm thinking we pull out a couple little fasteners here. We'll just kind of tweak this back a little bit. The connector lives right behind here, and instead of trying to fiddle up in there, if we can just expose it for the few screws it's going to take, I think we'll be a lot further ahead. There's like 2 more screws here, so I figured no sense to screw around. Just take the rest of them out just to get it a little more loose. It's a bit stiffer than I thought it was going to be. That's what she said, but I've been watching too much of The Office lately. Come on, baby. Fold around there, gosh. There. And there is a connector we're after. Hopefully, I think one of those. The bigger one, I'm guessing. Hopefully it's not all corroded out in there. It's a pretty good sized connector. I just want to be able to do our testing here. Let's get a blow nozzle, get rid of some of the salt and sand here first. And flicked it right in the eye. And then we'll find out which wire it is and see if we can't just probe it. But all this stuff here looks all pretty well factory, so I think we're in good shape so far. How the heck was that? Just want to knock some of the dirt out of the connection. I'm thinking probably instead of unplugging it right now, let's just undo it there. Kind of visual inspection. What I heard pop out was this little yellow insulator. I was looking for the hole that it goes in and I found it. There's another one that's in here kind of crooked also. Interesting that I was able to just blow it out with a blow nozzle, being that it was on the bottom side. seeing if any of them are missing on the top. At first glance, I would say no. So we're gonna have to put this back in. I saved it. I thought that's what I heard pop out, but I see another one that's in here all crooked, and another one that's half hanging out, but it's hanging out, but it's also covered with dirt, like it's been hanging out for a long time, not like we just popped it out. So that's kind of interesting. That one right there, you guys probably can't see it, but it's half hanging out, but it's pretty well covered with dirt and just fits in there very loosely. I just pushed it in a little bit. And there's another one down here, it's all kind of crooked in the hole, so that's interesting. Okay, let's find out what wire it is. We'll probe it because we don't see any green pus growing on the outside here. So let's find the wire and see what we have for voltage. So we're just going to be using just our standard voltmeter here. And I'll just set it where I can see it. We're going in pin 5 and 6 according to the diagram, which is blue with white and black. And they should be right next to each other near the end on the side that has 6 wires. Oh, okay, yeah, right here. So blue with white and black. And we will get a couple hypodermic back probes here. We're not going to poke the wire, especially in this area. Woo, excuse me, allergic to work. What do we expect to see? Well, I'm expecting to see 12 volts because we are dealing with an open. So we're going to probe right next to the weather pack connector here. I think it's in. Hard to tell sometimes when you're back probing. A little back probe there. Oh yeah, lucky. And that's what we have, is near battery voltage. Of course, it's dropping some voltage across a resistor. So what we can do from here, well, let's check it on the other side of this connector, be the easiest thing to do. You know, we got good in, let's see if we got good out. If we do, then we know we can keep motor in here. Got quite a twist in it here. Let me twist it this way. I'm gonna have to move my light so I can see. And then, because if we have 12 volts on the front, we should have 12 volts on the back, or close, you know. I say 12 volts loosely. All right, there's our black wire. And then here's our blue with white. Can't get in there. 11.79, so same thing that we had on the front, correct? We'll probe here, and then we should be able to make this change on the scan tool. 11.79, so same voltage there. We should be able, we can actually add a resistor in here if we wanted to and get our voltage to change, and then see that change on the scan tool and, you know, verify that everything works. However, the good news is that we have our proper voltage here, so we know we're not dealing with a connector that should be all corroded and cruddy. Now I'm not too afraid to pop it apart now that we've gathered some data. We are open. Our open circuit must be further down the line, but while we're right here, I want to check these. We got to put that yellow weather pack thing back in there, and just to make sure that there's no damage inside of here as a result of those other crooked ones, and everything in here looks super clean. So we're in good shape for the shape we're in, and then we can get the twist back out of this one. Let me get this yellow one put back in there, straighten out the other one that's kind of sitting in there crooked, and then we're going to keep on going that way. So we're just going to hook in our variable resistor here, and I've got it as low as it goes. So right now they're, you know, shorted together. It's only got probably, you know, 10 ohms resistance. Let me grab the scan tool. See if I can set that up there for you guys. And then we can see it's at 0 volts right now. Now as I increase resistance, oh, that goes pretty quick. So let's see here. I'm going to slowly start increasing resistance. And we can see that as I slowly add more resistance to the circuit, the voltage goes up. And then, I can just stop there. So we can see that it, obviously has a potential to work. Why doesn't the fuel level percentage change? I don't know. It probably has some sort of balance module and has to have, some algorithm for the calculation, maybe a key cycle. But as we start taking resistance away and pull it back down more towards the short, because remember, a short is not high resistance, it's low resistance. So, and then we can add resistance to the circuit and get it to go back up. So we know that the circuit has the ability to work. It is definitely open circuited, obviously, which we already knew. So let's keep following this down the line and see if we see anything. I'm gonna kind of scrutinize the harness a little bit more where it runs along here. I'm gonna blow out some of the dirt and stuff where it kind of covers it up and see if we see any green crusties. That's about all we can do. And if it comes down to it, we're going to have to, okay, so I had a twist in it for a reason. We're going to have to, get to the top of the fuel tank to get to that connector. Even though this was the easiest one and I was hoping to find some green crap here, we didn't. And we know it's good, at least to the back side of this harness. We might have to pull a drive shaft out to get to the top of the tank. So let's keep poking. So that harness comes down around, it looks pretty good through there. Runs on the back side of that mount, up over the frame. You always gotta watch them where they go over the frame and stuff. Kind of goes up through there. I thought it looked kind of tight up there. Down and around. And then goes up over the frame. Is that the magical green dust? Oh man, it'd be awesome if it's right here in the open. Let me set you guys down. That might be the gold mine right there. Or the green mine, whatever you want to call it. Mine, not mine. Well, oh, there's a little retainer in there. You see it, I can't feel. Oh, there's actually quite a bit of slack in this harness right there. Just pull it over and have a look. Yeah, looky. But then I got such a big nose. That is green. Let's see. Enhance. Yes, ma'am. A little bit extra slack in this wire. Boy, is today our lucky day or what? I don't know. Let's see if we can't reach up on top here. Get that retainer. Come on, get under there. It's got a box right here on the outside of the frame, so I can't get it from the other side. There we go. Yes, ma'am. Broke it right clean off, so that's good. Let's see, where does this go? Let's just leave that line. See if we've got all the extra wire that we can get. We can make our repair. There we go. Okay. Might be better off having it down here anyways instead of looked over that frame. There's really no sense in it. Just kind of following this along here. Let me unhitch. Just following this along. There's really no sense for this to be ran outside because it really just loops over and then loops back over. So I say if we repair it, we just keep it in here. Oh, look at that. Is this even the end of the tape? My whole week has sucked, but right now I feel like I'm living right. That must be. Because how often does that happen? The end of the tape you need to get to is right there. You find the broken wire and it's right in outer space, right in the wide open. So that's nice. Looks like there's a couple wires here rubbed through. We got this green with orange stripe, and then we have the wire that we're looking for, the blue. Curious to know what that other wire is. You know, what else on this truck doesn't work that maybe the guy doesn't know about. My razor blade is completely shot, but we just need to get past that point right here. Keep unwinding. Oh, what a great day. What a great day. That one's junk. Well, I thought that one was, but I don't think. It hits. I don't think that one's 8 through. I might have to look at that with a magnifying glass. No, I don't think it's through the insulation. No, that's got a little nick in it. Yeah, but I don't think it's through the insulation. I don't know. We might be better served just to chop it off, just to be on the safe side. Even though it's not through right now, it might. If it's got a little spot in it, you know how things are in the PRNY. There's that wire. Alright, so we got that wire, we got that wire, and then this one will probably cut out just to be on the safe side. Oh, unhits. Hopefully you guys got the bunny shot there. Hate to rob you of that. We're gonna kind of put a little hitch in its giddy up here. Yeah, I wonder what that wire is. Green with brown or green with orange. Let me see if I can figure it out. They just have a light green with tan and a dark green with tan. Both of them are labeled as, well, one's labeled as driver's secondary lock and the other one is labeled driver's secondary unlock. I don't know their functions because I didn't follow it any further than that. So we're going to chop it off, strip them out. Boy, it's not too often we got to make a wire repair right out here in the wild. So that's pretty nice when that happens. We're going to use everybody's favorite crimp and seal connectors. AKA the Comet generators. There's that. Don't know if we're gonna have enough slack in that blue one. We're probably not. Let's take and cut the black one so we can circumvent a problem here. Cut a little bit more out of it. And then this blue one, I think we're gonna be better off adding a bit of a length of wire, because if we put a butt connector in there, we're going to be too short. It's going to be too tight on that wire, and I still see a little bit of green in there. So we're going to take, I'll just show you that. Probably, yeah, see how that wire, you probably can't see it, enhance. It's still green and enhance. All right, in case you didn't believe me, we'll chop her down a little bit further. We're halfway decent there. We're gonna have to go a little further. That wire got the green in it pretty good. Hopefully it didn't go real far up the wire. All right, now we're nice and shiny. So we'll just add a length of wire between them here. There's that. That's a little green there. All right, shiny. Let's see here. I know it doesn't seem it on your guys' end, but this has been quite a long process here. Mrs. O is not here today, so I've been secretary, phone answer, service writer, estimate writer. Help Josh deal with all the bing bongs and phone ringing, and it's just, hopefully it all seems cohesive in the end and everybody's happy. So we got a piece of 16 gauge blue wiring here. We're gonna add in there. Make sure that's about the correct length. And it is. And then when we do this, if the battery's not dead in the vehicle, at this point we should be able to see our correct reading and assessment on how much fuel is in it. It's gonna be somewhere between 0.5 volt and 4.5, according to service data. Okay, there's that. We should have good connections. Let's go see where our voltage is at. Oh, hang on, folks. And we're at 1.2 volts. And like I say, I think this will populate maybe during a key cycle. So we've reestablished connection, so we're good to go. Now taking can get this one out here in the open. Taking heat that up so all the adhesive comes out here and it kind of heat shrinks down on us. And I'll just go through and do the rest of them. I won't bore you with that process. All right, they're all cooled down and solidified. So now we will take our mini roll. So this Tessa tape wrapped around the socket to make a miniature roll, because that Tessa tape roll is really big. And that would be the factory tape that they used on this. So we'll do this and nobody will ever know we were here, except for you guys. Hopefully I put enough roll on this tape. I forgot how long this thing was across here. If not, we can add some more, of course. And our blue wire is a touch on the long side, but that's okay. Yep, we're definitely gonna run out of tape. Kind of get that folded down around there. Let me go get some more tape for us. This Tessa tape is really good tape. It's pretty abrasion resistant until it isn't. You know, it's better than regular electrical tape as far as that goes, I should say, I guess, in comparison. And we're not going to run this back up over. I can't really see the need to do it how it was. Let's kind of finish off our tape roll here. There's that. Okay. And then I think what we'll do is we'll just kind of we can just zip tie it right to the fuel lines here and the brake line. Looks like that's probably, I don't know if that's evap. Oh no. Yeah, no, just 2 brake lines and then the fuel line. Or we could, you know, punch a hole in the frame and just use one of the zip ties with a Christmas tree on it. Lots of options here. That runs across the top like that. Let's just kind of see where it wants to sit here naturally. Kind of wants to stay down here. I'm going to throw a zip tie around this fuel line. Want to make sure. Okay, it's got a wire tie right there against the frame. I think if we do that, it's going to be fine. I mean, it's going to be better than where it was, that's for sure. There, I think I'm going to put one up in the corner of this canister. There's an old dummy plug here. I just don't want it rubbing through on this metal bracket on the canister over here. And now we're going to be in good shape. ABS connector doesn't have any Christmas trees left on it. It's missing several fasteners through here. Somebody's probably had it out before, maybe do manifolds or something, but missing some Christmas trees and all the fasteners down through the front. We put back what we took out. So that's it for now, folks. Pretty easy fix on this one. And it's a good thing that we looked in service data, because to be honest with you, if I just grabbed the wiring diagram and I seen the data on the scan tool, you know, that 0 to 5 volt interpretation, or, you know, 5 volts, I guess where it was at, I may have been led a little bit astray. Probably not, because I've been doing it long enough. I would have seen 12 volts, especially when it was, you know, 12 volts or close to 12 volts and not actual battery voltage. Yeah, I probably would have questioned it. Probably would have just shorted it to ground with a test light, see if we had change on the scan tool. But it is good to know information like that, that the scan tool sees it, you know, as 0 to 5 volts, when in all reality, the module, the body module, is sending out 12 volts. So that's good to know, especially when you're, you know, tracing down the circuit. You want to know high circuit code can be an open in the signal wire or an open in the ground. Either one of those two can be open. If you lose the ground, of course your signal wire elevates at that point, and then if you lose your signal wire, it's essentially the same as losing the ground. Voltage is elevated, which is what we saw. We had an open circuit, or high resistance, however you want to look at it. High resistance and open, pretty much the same thing. Open is the ultimate in high resistance, I guess, if you think of it that way. So that's it, folks. I want to think of you in a good way in that comment section down there, leaving a question, the comments, the concerns. Let me know how you guys would have found this one, and your process of tracing down an open and splitting the circuit in half. Would you start at the sending unit or started at the easiest connector to get to? Insta, the Facebook, you guys know where to find us. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.